pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morgan Township meeting, December 27th, 2021 at 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Brett, you can't hear me? No. Yep, I turned it back off. I had it on. Sorry. Good. Thank you. All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Morgan Township Board of Trustee minutes dated December 6, 2021 as written.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the warrants.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment listing dated 12/6/2021 through 12/27/2021. Payment number 900-2021 through 928-2021. And warrant number 1023, 10823, 10853 are voided. And then warrant number 11081 through 11102, 11103, and 11104 are voided. Then 11105 through 11118 for a total of $57,612.94.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Do we have a new computer yet? Okay, good.
I do.
I saw the voids. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay.
No, two of them are voided because they are not cashed and one
Okay.
was torn up and the other one's missing.
All right.
All right. Anyone from the audience tonight? Okay. If not, we will
Yes.
go.
Oh, you got a hand
We had a
up.
hand up, please come forward.
Jeff, make sure that mic's on. If you will, state your name and address.
My name is Tim Schulteis, 2249 Chapel Road. I wanted to come here tonight to squash any rumor that has been going around that Tim Schulteis is going to donate his time and his machinery to building a walking or running track. I have neither the money nor the time to do that. And I just brought along a little information you might find handy. Last drawing I've seen has been drawn by who?
I drew the last drawing, but also the Metro Parks also forwarded a drawing. I don't know.
think it was the Metro Parks drawing.
It's the one
I
that
looked
looked
at.
pretty nice.
It was a nice drawing, just for a guy that he didn't use any measurements or anything, but he did draw a good drawing. I mean, it's a drawing that I would probably go after if I was going to design this running or walking track. But I want you to know, I'm just guessing 4,000 feet of walking or running track you're talking about. At 2 inches of pavement, 10 foot wide, it's gonna run around $160,000. That's if I was bidding on it, I'd be bidding that number. That's not figuring whatever culvert pipes goes in or whatever extra dirt may have to be moved to do it. But normally speaking, to cut it to subgrade, put your base in and compact it, and your 2 inches of asphalt on, backfill it, and seed it, I'd say it's gonna run at least 160,000. Now, being at the economy the way it is with inflation, asphalt's time to what barrel oil's gonna bring. So we don't know what it's gonna be in the future. It could go really crazy. With the bunch we got in there now, it probably will go crazy. So that was all I wanted to add tonight. And I will help the township any way I can through observation or critique and anything. I'll be glad to do that if called upon. But as far as my machinery coming down here and starting to move a bunch of dirt, that's not gonna happen. I'm not financially in that position anymore. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Tim, I don't know how that rumor got started. It's certainly nobody's impression in this room, because it was always talked about funding for blacktop and funding for dirt work and then funding for the architectural work. So
Yeah.
how that got out there,
Well,
I have no idea.
my larger dozer uses 10 gallons of fuel an hour.
Oh, I know it's not
So,
cheap,
I mean, I
Not
can't
cheap.
afford to buy the fuel for the job, you know.
no doubt. All right, thanks, Tim.
All right, anyone else from the audience tonight?
All right, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to take a break and have a little celebration. This is Brett's last meeting, and for the 12 years of service that he's provided us, I think we owe him a good send-off. So I'd like to make a motion to take a break and have a little reception, and then we'll adjourn, or we'll reconvene after that. Reconvene.
I'll second, and also add a thanks on behalf, I think, everybody, especially the trustees. I know we're very grateful for everything you've done. Thank you.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to reconvene the meeting, starting at 7:27.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion
Again.
approved.
Oh, and again,
sorry.
thank you, Brett, for all your years of service. You'll truly be missed. And I hope I can call you every once in a while to get some advice or something, tap into your brain of what happened in the past.
I'm all right with that.
Okay. Thank you.
I just want to thank everyone for coming. Obviously, I was upset I didn't win, but things happen. I'll move forward. But I believe I can leave here with my head up high, because I know in the 12 years it's a lot better now than it was when I came. And never know, might be back. So, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Mr. Galloway.
All right, I'll start with the administration report. It's not much tonight. Just an overview, continued overview of the American Rescue Plan Recovery Fund. There was discussion with Tom on the premium pay, and I think he was working on some pay scales for that. I'll forward that off to him in just a moment. Currently, with the first round of funding, this is the expenditures that are already allocated, which will leave the first round of American Rescue Plan money remaining balances $215,049.16. I still am hearing word that the second amount will come sometime in May, and that's been from several sources in the OTA. Second is the off-site data storage. Myself and Chief Griffith have a meeting with the Southwest Ohio Computer Association, or SWOCA, on January 6th. We talked to them on the phone, and they do a lot of the townships for that data backup. Fairfield Township. She named a bunch of them off. Her name's Dawn. I can't remember her last name, but had a good meeting with her, and we're going to actually go to their physical site on the 6th, which is over there behind D. Russell Lee, Butler Tech over there on the 6th, and have a meeting with her at 9 a.m. And that's all I have, no executive session, so I don't know if, Tom, you want to talk about that now or when your turn is
I'll talk
later
about
on.
it when
Okay,
we get
perfect.
my report.
I'll move to the fire chief's report. So thanks to Rob, while I was on vacation, he found out that there's no production date yet for the new battalion or his vehicle, which leaves the old battalion buggy still in service. I know that was the plan to give that to Ted eventually, but there's no production date on it still. So we're still waiting for Ford to figure out what they're going to
So
do.
we're obviously into a 22. We could possibly be into a 23. Is the price going to fluctuate, or are they going to honor the
They
price?
told me they were honoring the prices, was what was told by me by Jenny Loveland.
I don't see how they can not do it because they're the ones that
Right.
set everything up. So
Right.
Yep. She told me that they were honoring the price.
Okay.
Whatever the year model was on it. So,
Okay.
Yep. I think Lieutenant Galloway sent an email out to everybody, but the Stop the Bleed class for tomorrow has been canceled. She is sick, so she will give a new date on that one. And the other thing, she arranged 2 community pub eds. We assisted with the Boy Scouts down in Okeana for their annual caroling. And then also we had the Boy Scouts at the station for first aid and fire prevention education here 2 weeks ago. So those are a couple of public educations that have been planned. Next, Chief Griffith is actually out of town with his wife and his mother in Indiana, so I get to give the great COVID report tonight. Ironically, as I was coming to the meeting tonight, they announced on the radio that Mercy Fairfield's in diversion now, which means you can't take anybody there because they're overpacked, overloaded. Westchester's on diversion, and Fort Hamilton was on diversion yesterday and last night. So the COVID cases have risen 57% in the county since November 5th. So it is coming. It's primarily the Omicron variant now that we're seeing. A lot of the patients that we're going to or have some kind of an issue in that regard as well. We have gotten 2 of our 3 employees back. Now they've been cleared, and we still have 1 that will not be cleared until January 3rd from COVID protocol and the CDC recommendations. So with that, it's there. It's in the county, and like I said, most of the hospitals are on some type of a diversion or just at capacity. So. Lastly, we do our annual maintenance and bench testing on the air packs and the masks, and that is going to be happening January 25th to 22. So I need a PO to Vogelpool for $1,500 for the annual maintenance of our SCBAs and the air packs, the bench testing of the packs, and then all of the masks.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And that is all I have for tonight.
190, Jeff.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown.
Okay, first thing is, I gave Mr. Kolb a copy of, I went and got a price for a LED stoplight with a solar thing, and trying to get ODOT and Butler County to put one up at California and 126. The price of $2,165 or $68 for one sign, just so they had just to try to push that. I know that they've said they do the rumble strips as long as we pass the resolution, which that was done before. So I think that's what's going to happen, but I personally feel that they really need to look into that to make it all.
And they would need 4 of them.
2.
At least
Just 2, because if they're not going to stop 126 traffic, I don't
No,
believe.
no, I don't mean that. I mean 2 on each, one on each side going north, one on each side going south. That's the way they got them about everywhere else that they have them. They have one on both sides flashing. I know they did that on Route 130 on Mormon. There's 8 signs at that intersection. Because when they got the flashing, then they're putting them on both sides so you can see them.
I mean,
It's like when you're going north, there's one on the right, one on the left. When you're coming south, there's one on the right, one on the left.
I just
If we
went
could
and-
get 2, it'd be great, but
But we'll
I would
we'll
push
try
it.
to get 4. Well, there's no problem there. But two's the minimum that we could go forward with, and that'd be $4,000. And they're awaiting rate resolutions on the work to do the rumble strip. So that basically means they're paying for it, which I think that was your question last time, is make sure we're not involved in paying for this. So when they come back with that, we'll drop the sample of the sign we'd like with the pricing and say we'd like to have 4 of them to do the project the right way. I'm sure most of you all saw that we had another accident at that intersection Christmas Eve night. So very sad to see that, but it just demonstrates the need to do something at that intersection. So the county is ready to move on it, and we're optimistic.
And just on that note, I wanted people to know that nobody asked me to go get that price. I did that on my own because that's how strongly I feel about them needing that. So I just wanted to give that to you, Jeff, so you could push that to the guys with ODOT and Butler County or whatever.
Will do.
That's
Well, I
just,
know we had asked the county before, and basically the answer we got is they steal them, but
Yeah, they said it,
but if we can keep pushing, keep doing it.
since we're on that topic, did you come up with a draft letter to send to ODOT?
No.
Okay.
We're going to call them first because the one lady we already made that connection with the one lady, and the name is escaping me, just down the street on this north side. She's already sent that letter to ODOT, so any reference that we have back to ODOT, we're just going to refer back to her letter because they've already committed to understand the problem.
okay. The next thing I have is just, last couple weeks here, just trying to finish up the year. With all the warm weather, we've been doing some more door patching. I had said we was done with that, but I took advantage of the warm weather so we could get out and do some more. And Mark and I have been doing that every day that it's not rained, so just wanted to touch base on that. The big thing is the furnace that heats and cools the zoning office and the fiscal officer's office has went out. There's several things wrong with it. It could be repaired, but the unit is 21 years old and there are better units out there. And I had requested 3 people to give me bids, but I only got 2 back. I got one from Valentino Contracting out of Harrison and one from Braun Heating and Air Conditioning out of Colerain Township down off of Colerain Avenue. Craig Braun had given me a price here to furnish all necessary sheet metal, complete existing new equipment, furnish all electric to do the work, all gas lines, furnish all PVC flue piping, furnish condensate to complete on exiting, furnish new Wi-Fi thermostat, remove refrigerant per EPA disposal requirements for all the existing stuff, remove all the old equipment, and install or replace our existing LP gas-fired furnace with a 5-ton coil, 5-ton air conditioner with a new 96% LP gas-fired, 100,000 BTU of heat, new 5-ton case coil, 5-ton heat pump condensing unit, rating at 14 SEER, energy efficient using 3-phase electric. He says he could not find an 18 SEER heat pump that I had requested that they get, because that's what we have on there now. Anyway, he gave me a price of $13,300 to do all that work. That is from Braun Heating and Air.
Did you have a bid from Valentino for 11?
I've got that right here, and I'm going to read that next. And I also had requested one from Frederick's Heating and Air off of Millville Oxford Road, but he come out and looked, but I have not received anything back from him. So, Tony Valentino with Valentino Contracting gave me a price to install a 96% 2-stage 63 to 97 kBTU variable speed gas furnace, a Bryant 5-ton case evaporator coil, an 18 SEER inverter heat pump, and then all the installation and everything for a total of $11,625 even. So that's our two prices that I
And
got.
that's got the 18 SEER that you were requesting that we currently have, right?
Correct. And that also, he doesn't have it on here, but that does include the new Wi-Fi thermostat that, if anything goes wrong or whatever, it I can put it on my phone, and anybody can put it on their smartphone, and it'll send you stuff to let you know of any problems, or you can turn up or down the heat from wherever, so if Tina's freezing and can't figure out how to do it, I can turn it up from elsewhere, so.
We have that at the station. It's called Nest. So, yeah. It's
I'm
nice.
good with the Valentino, because
Yeah.
I've actually seen some of their work, and I'm good. Daryl?
Didn't he say that he could probably
Yes.
get
We need to get heat in the building, it's getting cold.
Well, I've got a guy I'd like to suggest, I mean, he put in 3 furnaces for me, and, I don't know, maybe a house furnace is completely different, I don't know, but I don't think so. Mine included a heat pump and a furnace, and I think that's like
This is a heat pump, this is a whole new furnace, this is replacing a 21-year-old unit with
But
a
it's
brand new.
a big one.
So is mine. It's a 5-ton unit is what
Wow.
you got. It's a dual fuel system. The second one you got is a variable speed drive on the frequency drive also. It's a better, and it's better priced by about $2,000. I do heating.
The 13,000?
Yeah, I do heating. I mean, I'm licensed.
So Valentino is the bet?
Yes.
I mean, I can buy this stuff. I'm licensed.
So what's a better,
The second one that he
The
just
11,000.
bought is the better
Yes.
deal by a lot. Because that one's got the 18 SEER, which is, I'm gonna say about $2,600 right off the top, the condenser, okay? And then your frequency drive or your dual stage or your heat is gonna save you. You got 3 stages of heat at that point. You got your heat pump, high, low, and then you got the furnace. So you got 3 stages. That's a good price. Installed by a third-party company, that's a great price. The other guy's high. So, and I do, so I know what it costs.
I think, just let everybody know, Rob called everybody, the trustees last week, and had the one price from Valentino, and I asked that he get competitive prices, just so we got something that we can say we did our due diligence. And this time of year, I don't know that we can wait, so I'm good with the Valentino price for the 11,000 to
$11,625.
625.
Did they say that that was inclusive of everything? Because you're replacing a 20-year-old system, 21, has it got PVC pipe out now?
Yes.
Okay, so they're just gonna adapt to what's already pre-existing. What type of refrigerant's in your old one?
I have no idea on that.
Okay, because if they're gonna have to pull the line set out, they're gonna have to run a new line set, which is gonna probably be an add, so you wanna make sure that's included. Okay? Because if you don't, then they're gonna try to get you on that. It's an add.
Well, let me see.
Yeah, Valentino put in a system for us, and he was very thorough, and he was very responsive a couple of years ago,
You
so,
just gotta watch it, because there's always some kind of.
yeah, he's pretty upfront. I think he would have told us what it,
Well, here he
He's got-
does say labor and material to remove and dispose of existing equipment, set new equipment, install or flush copper inset,
Line set.
line set, and install new outdoor unit, electrical disconnect, whipped condenser pad, indoor high and low voltage connections, gas connections, flue makeup and air vents, condensate, drain, and ducts,
Yeah.
duct transitions. Then he's got it all broke down on,
Is the one from that company 3-phase or not?
yes, because it has to be 3-phase, because that's what we have in the building here. It all has to be,
You could do single phase. You could do it, if the 3-phase costs more, it saves you money on your utility.
the 3-phase saves you money on,
Correct.
That's what he said.
That's what
Right.
it said, yeah. But you could do a single phase if they didn't have it in stock and you had to have it, you just pull the two legs, run 240 single phase off of it. It's not very much.
Now, as of last week, his supplier had all this equipment, but I couldn't give him the go-ahead until tonight, so.
It's a good price.
I'm good with it. You wanna make that a motion, or?
Yep, I'll make a motion to, for a PO to Valentino Contracting for the replacement and installation of the new heating and AC, I got it right here,
Okay.
that supplies that half of the building with for the fiscal officer, zoning, and I guess the back office, right?
Correct.
Okay. For a total price of $11,625.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Anything else, Rob?
That's all that I have.
All right. Mr. Marshall?
Alrighty. I'm giving you a year-end summary of the certificates and other financial pieces to come. You have that before you. You have the entire year into who actually received certificates, or plus along with the lot splits that are available. This year, for a total, we had 12 new home constructions, which I think is probably one or two away from the all-time high, I think, is 15 in 1 year. And then we had 30 accessory structures, which was the bulk of the certificates that came along. The lot splits, it was a good year for lot splitting. Everything else, a major portion of that came through the Lears, which we all know what happens there and what's happened there. But it came to a total of $13,698 for revenue for the year. The variance that you see there is not going to be heard until February the 3rd, though, however, but I had to include that into it because it's already in the bank, or will be soon. Any questions there? Any thoughts? A very good year.
Nope.
It was about $1,000, about $1,100 less than last year, but I feel very good about the year in terms of that side of it. The zoning commission will meet January the 5th. That's their first meeting of the year. The BZA met December the 9th. They were shown the GSI app. The BZA will also be holding a variance hearing on February the 3rd, 2022 for an area variance on the parcels at 6228 Cincinnati Brookville Road. Now, just to give you the adjacent piece of that, that is the 4 little parcels that are across from the beauty bank. All right? We have a very, very intense set of people who are local businessmen already. They are the owners of the Shandon in-between storage, and they are looking to develop it. I won't say that much further than that. They're going to be asking for an area variance concerning the front yard setback for a business B3 zone property, okay? That is contingent upon them receiving the variance before they even purchase or even develop. But what they are planning to develop, it will surprise you, okay? Everything else, but that's all I can say right now because I don't want to influence BZA or anyone else. The Land Use Committee will meet on January the 20th. Our topic for that meeting is the objectives. The objectives are the primary reason we come together, and those are the primary things that the zoning commission has to look at and say, okay, are we going to have to go change things? Are we good? Or do we have to get rid of some things in terms of that and see if we actually match up what the land use wants us to kind of follow in the zoning department and everything else. So after that, I turn it over to Ted here to talk about the zoning enforcement update.
We did 5 letters, 30-day letters, and the addresses are so listed. And what we've done is basically sent out with the violations again,
what they were in violation of. There's a couple of them on there that's still repeated, but the 30-day violation stated that we're going to start taking them to court and go to Butler County Court with them if they don't take care of the situation. A couple of them are new, but the majority of them are still ones that's been in the past, so they've got the documentation, but we've given them a 30-day notification at this point in time, so.
And Jeff, just in the thing of it, we will be working up an Excel spreadsheet similar to the one that I had in terms of showing the status better, okay? All right? Any other questions?
Oh, thanks, Dale.
All right, that's everything for me then.
Well, while we're on you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to appoint Ken Tumbleson to the commission for another 5-year term.
Oh, that's right, I forgot to do that.
And that ends in, what date
20
is it?
Let's go, let's say, it starts in 2022, so
2022,
23,
27.
24,
26.
26.
31 or 26, right?
12/31 of 2026.
Yep,
Could we also do the same for?
I'm going to do
okay,
him
Stip-
after we do this one.
Okay. I knew they were back there.
Okay, is there a
Second?
Mr. Updike?
Yes?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, and I'll make a second motion to appoint Steve Grody to the BZA for another 5-year term,
Second?
ending in,
December 31st, 2026.
yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes?
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, anything else, Dale?
No, that's everything.
Ted, good?
Ed, Ted, thank you.
Yes, yes, they do. Mhm.
All right, Tina?
Okay. I need a approval for a PO to Butler County Engineer for $4,498.62 for the culvert repairs that were made to Morgan Ross Road and North Dwyer Road.
So moved?
Second?
Okay, Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion approved. Also, a resolution to reallocate $46.25 from Fund 1000 contingencies line to other salaries line to complete payroll.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved. And also a resolution to reallocate from Fund 2191 from the contingencies line. I need to other salaries in the amount of $20,585.90.
So
I
moved.
Wait, I need.
You wanna do
well,
them
I'm
all?
go- Yeah, I'm gonna
You
add
want to
these
do
to
them
them.
all? Okay.
And to the Social Security line from the contingencies line, the amount of $309.03, and also to the Medicare line from contingencies in the amount of $290.52.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved. Thank you.
The only thing I had tonight was the update on Route
They
126.
all need numbers.
Oh, 7 numbers. One number.
Run 26 in California, and I have nothing else.
Okay, Mr. Brucker?
Let's see. I wanted to go over, does anybody real quick know a Beth Frock? She have anything to do with the fire department? Maybe somebody from another department that may have come for training at our, she requested on, and maybe it's a different Morgan Township, but she is requesting a copy of her transcripts. So I didn't know if she took a class or something, but I have not responded to her. She
Yeah, there are
contacted.
6 other Morgantown.
Right.
Five other Morgan Township.
So
6.
I didn't know if, I wanted just to check before I respond to her, but I'll tell her
There's
that
6
we're not
total?
the
Okay.
Morgan Township
So there are
that
5 other.
she's requesting. Okay. Okay, the name didn't ring a bell to me.
Must be the wrong Morgan.
Okay, last meeting, we talked about premium pay for fire department and road department coming out of the American Relief Plan or Fund. And we got the total number of hours that for 2021 and 2020 that were fit into the criteria. And we threw around a bunch of different dollar amounts that we could, basically pay the people the amount of hours that they worked for these two different time frames. And we kind of tabled it at the last meeting in executive session, but I just wanted to bring it up again so we, don't lose it. But do we have any dollar amount? The thing is, we have 200 and, what was your report? 215,000?
213, if I remember right.
215,000? 215,000 left. Then we got another 306,000 coming in April or May. The problem is, right now, the criteria that we can spend it on.
Tom, don't we have till 2000?
Well, let me finish, will you? I'm going there. I'm going there.
I mean, it's not that urgent right now.
I'm going there.
Okay.
So I don't want to, spend it all now because there's different municipalities, cities, and government agencies that are going back to the government saying that, we can't spend the money because, your criteria it only can be used for certain things. And they're looking at opening that up. So we've got to, like Darrell said, we got till 2024 to allocate the money and 2026 to spend it.
To actually spend it. So
Right.
if you have something that's been ordered in 24, but it's not going to ship till 25, that's okay. You
Right.
have to order it by 24.
Right.
You can
It
still
has to
ship
be-
and pay the invoice by 26.
It has to be, allocated and spent, but, so that's why we pushed back at the last meeting to not do, not go for like a $5 or some large amount of money that was gonna eat it up, because if we eat it up and it's gone, we can't spend it. So in 2023, if they come out and say, yeah, you can use it on roads or you can use it on culverts, we wanna have the money available. That's why we're not gonna just allocate the money. But on the other hand, these people all, the road crews included, they all worked through COVID, and this money is available for them. So I looked into it, and we can give them like a little bit now and a little bit back in 2024 toward the end when we know we can't spend it on anything else. So I just want to throw it out there. Do we want to look at this now and allocate like a certain dollar amount or certain amount for these hours that the people have already worked that meet the criteria?
Well, there's two issues. One is do we understand what the hours are based on? Is it based on all the working hours, or is it based on COVID-related runs? That's one, and I don't know the answer to that. The second one is I thought we talked about when we work the budget, resolve these numbers when we build the budget for 2022. And I thought that's where we left it at the last executive session.
Well, we did, but we also wanted to get more clarification on, what we could, what was the hours, and the hours were all the hours.
The hours are worked. The
Hours
hours are worked
worked
during the
those time
pandemic.
frames.
And
Hours
that's
are
solid?
worked during pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all I'm doing is bringing that back up, that we did, clarify the hours. Now we just have to, basically put some sort of dollar amount as a multiple of those hours to pay the people. I just wanted to see if we could get it in before the end of this year so we could, it would get, on this year's, so they don't get a lump sum next year. But, if you want to table it, we can table it.
This is for Tina. How does this look as far as, does this make a better process working it along with the budget for 2022? Or is this something financially we're okay with doing now?
This
Well,
don't
it's
have
coming out of
anything to
the
do with the
COVID
budget
money.
because this is just coming out of that fund.
Well, the money can be used, though, in multiple different ways, though. So that's why I'm talking budget.
It cannot go back to the budget. That is absolute from the federal U.S. Treasury.
If
You
we
cannot
don't
go
use
back
it,
and
we don't
backfill your
spend it, we
budget.
give it back.
You can only backfill revenue loss like the EMS runs and the community center. But you cannot go, it's clearly in the criteria, you can't go back and just throw it back in your own general fund budget.
Well, we have projects. I'm more directing it towards projects that we have that might become open to utilization for that money. So if we have those projects in mind, not the budget, I understand what you're saying, Chief, not the budget, but if projects are rated and financially pegged, put a number to, that's really the sensible type of thing to do.
You'll have to.
Now, if we've done that already, if we're comfortable doing that on the fiscal side, then it's a different
Well,
game.
you'll just have to hope that the U.S. Congress and the U.S. House of Representatives go on the uses of it. They lessen the use of it. You can do roads and culverts, because right now we've already gone through that with a lawyer and you can't do it.
Right.
So you're hoping that come in '22, they lessen the uses of the money. That's what you're sitting waiting on now. That's really where it's at. So that's what the board's, because right now you can't use it. So the board is either going to say, we're going to wait to see if the Congress and the House of Representatives lessen the U.S. Treasury's use of the money, or if they don't, then you're back to the 5 points that were already set by the U.S. Treasury, and one of the 5 was the premium pay for essential workers. So that's kind of, I think, where you're at, because even I don't, and again, I'm just, by everything I'm reading on this, I don't believe they're ever going to let you put it back, just lump sum it back to your general fund. You're going to have to allocate it for something that they're going to loosen up the criteria for on that. But that, again, that's...
If they do, we don't know that they
We
are.
don't know they're going to do that. That's up to Congress and the House of Representatives to do that. So that's kind of that point.
So if we give them $1, how much would that
If we give
come
them
up?
$1 for the fire department, it would be a total of $577.75. And for the road department, it would be $3,040.
And then the next level was $5?
No, you can do anything.
You
We
can
can
do
give them
anything.
$1, we can give them 50 cents, we can give them anything we want. We just
I know
threw
we
out
had-
different increments.
We had 1, 3,
Well,
and 5
we
for
had
the last
I-
discussion?
Yeah, we had a $5 was just put out there, and that's when we all kind of pushed back, because it was like $122,888.75 for the fire department and $15,200 for the road department. So that's when we pushed that back, and then we started looking at other increments. And then also got clarification that we can give, part of it now and part of it later, once we find out that there was money available. But
So if you did $1, you're looking at, what, 30 grand? Ballpark, a little less than 30?
28,000. And $2 was $49,155.50 for the fire department and $6,080 for the road department. So that would be about,
So if you did
About
that now and
50.
you waited a while and then you wanted to do another one later, you would be fine, but you really haven't, you would bring that budget, what, down to about 190
it's 215 now, so another
or
20.
187? And then you've still got another 306,000 coming?
Right.
That would be at least something for the 1 year.
I don't have any problems with that money. Our fire department has been exceptional.
And that still gives us room, or gives you guys room moving forward if they open it up to still do other things. I think that's at least something, and then you could always do something next year as well.
I would have no problem with, at the dollar level, get something out. out
Okay.
to the guys and the ladies.
All right. So I'll make a motion for the premium pay coming out of the American Rescue Plan for the fire department and the road department employees at $1 per hour for the hours they work during the period of 7/1 through December 31st of 2020 and March 13th through December 31st of 2021. And would be an amount of, let's see, do we have the total hours? Because we're going through December 31st and this was done,
I have all of 2020 was 22,662 hours.
2020. I've got for the fire department, 14,740.
Did you do January or did you, did you do June or March when the COVID started, when it actually, the COVID at 3/13 of 20?
Okay, I'm sorry, I did the same thing we did the last time.
Exactly.
Okay.
It starts
It's
on
24,577.75.
Yep, starts on.
So I'll
13th
back
of
up,
March.
I didn't change that 20, okay. It's either, period is either
That's on
from
me.
March 13th of 2020 through December 31st of 2020.
Correct.
Or the next time frame that we could use would be July 1st of 2020 through December 31st of 2020. So if we go March 31st of 2020 through December 31st of 2020, it's 24,577 and 3/4 hours for the fire department and 3,040 hours for the road department at $1 per hour, which
Correct.
would be 24,
It's 27 something.
yeah, not to,
27,617.75.
27,000, 617.75.
Tell them Lenore was into banking.
Yeah, exactly. She did that in her head. Whatever she said.
All right, second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved. When do you want this paid to these people? I don't have any thing on how many hours
I
everybody
can give it to
gets
you.
and-
Or Chief's got it. I got it from Chief.
And you want it paid to them when?
How soon can you do it?
Oh, I have to add it to everybody's.
You wouldn't cut them a separate check?
I have to add all these line items with all the taxes and everything to their, I can't just like give them the money, like cut a check without the taxes and stuff.
Well, I know
taken
the
out.
taxes would have to come out, but would it be taxed at whatever the amount is? What do you have to go through the line items for? I mean, you're talking about
I have
every
to
pay
put-
period?
I have to ask if I can put it in as like a stipend, or if it's gonna be the hours for each person times $1, and then add all
You gotta
the
get
stuff that
clarification
I think
comes
it's
out
UAN.
of
The
them.
hours times that for the person, and then you do the taxes. If I remember right, you cannot do it in a stipend. Is that correct, Chief?
Right. You cannot do it.
You can't do it in a stipend.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, this
Cannot
would be
do
It
that.
has to
like
be
That is
done in the
definitely
hourly
15
and the
hours.
hourly.
That is
At
definitely-
$1,
it's
so
on
it'd be
And I
hours.
have to,
Yes.
to this person, Browning, I gotta go in his thing,
right?
put in
All the hours.
this hours, $1,
Mhm.
and then go and add all the tax things to that, and I have to do that for each person,
Right,
yes.
okay,
So pay it at your convenience is
whenever
when
you-
you can get it
Okay,
done.
I will start on it.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
Because I know that's going to take a while on that computer.
Yeah, it's a new computer.
No, I have a new
computer,
one. I
Is
have a
it
new one.
not
But it's
shutting
still-
off like the
it's-
old one?
No, it's
Thank
not.
God.
But
It has not
it's still
shut off.
extremely time consuming. because you got to go in each person's profile and do it. Okay.
And then I'm asking for executive session for salaries and personnel, which would be
One, if I remember right.
one. Do I have to read it now?
Yeah,
or
you
wanna
go
read
ahead
it?
and
You
read
wanna
it.
read it when you go into it.
Make the motion, I'll let you guys do it. I'm
You
leaving.
got anything else?
Nope, I already did what I was
Okay.
gonna do.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss certain personnel matters, when particularly named in a motion. A public body may adjourn into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, and to consider the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual, unless the employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual request a public hearing. But a public body may not hold an executive session to consider the discipline of an elected official for conduct related to the performance of the official's duties, or to consider that person's removal from office.
Add the time. On executive.
Hmm?
You have to add the time on executive.
8:11, at 8:11.
Second.
Mr. Brucker,
Yes.
Mr. Kolb,
Yes.
Mr. Updike.
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, we are adjourned for executive.
You want me to stay?
We'll have a lot of rest.
A lot of resolutions after this one. Last meeting of the year is a lot.
Thank you all. Okay, you're on.
All right, I'll make a motion at 9:44 to come out of executive session.
Second.
Mr. Brucker,
Yes.
Mr. Kolb,
Yes.
Mr. Updike.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay.
All right.
Redact that first one first.
All right. Before we went into executive session, we voted to approve $1 per hour for the fire department and the road crew for a payment of $1 per hour
What was
for
your total?
$27,617.75. It was discussed in executive session that Penny Galloway is included in that, and Brett Updike cannot vote on that. So I will make the motion to pay the road department, or the fire department and road department, $1 per hour for the pay period of 3/13 through 12/31 of 2020.
Do you want to rescind that first?
Yeah, I'll rescind that first one. Yeah. And we'll redo it. So I'll make a motion to approve $1 per hour for the premium pay for the time frame of 3/13 through 12/31 of 2020 for the fire department and the road crew, for a total of $27,617.75, and that's at $1 per hour for the hours that they worked during that time frame.
Second.
Mr. Brucker,
Yes.
Mr. Kolb,
Yes.
Mr. Updike.
Abstain.
Motion approved.
Okay. All right, bear with me. I'll make a motion that for 2022, the officers for the board will be Tom Brucker as chairman of the board, Jeff Kolb as vice president, and Darrell Huff as member at large.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to use the salary method payment for 2022 for the trustees and fiscal officer according to ORC 505.24 and 507.09, the actual amount based on the estimate of the resources by the Butler County Auditor and the rates set by the state of Ohio.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Make a motion to rehire the road department personnel for 2022. Rob Brem will be paid at a pay rate of $31.50 per hour, and Mark Reinhardt will be paid at a rate pay of $25.25, effective January 7th, 2022.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Who seconded
Nobody seconded yet.
it? Okay.
You're doing the roll
Was that a
call.
Tom, just one question. Was that a 50 cent?
50
or was that
cent,
a
50
dollar?
cent an hour.
Okay. Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
I'll make a motion to rehire Janice Kolb to clean at a rate of $14.50 per hour, summer help for the road crew at a rate of $14.50 per hour, and part-time road crew with a CDL at a rate of $16 an hour, effective January 7th, 2022.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
You're still working.
Yes.
Mr. Updike, yes.
Yes.
All right, I'll make a,
Motion approved.
okay. I'll make a motion to rehire all fire department personnel at their current rates.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
I'll make a motion for 2022 to rehire Lenora Schulteis as zoning secretary and to record the trustee minutes at a rate of $33.25 per hour.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
I'll make a motion for 2022 for convention travel expense policy at $75 per day for food, banquet at actual cost, and travel by auto at the current GSA mileage reimbursement rate, registration, parking, and hotel at actual cost with receipts turned into the fiscal officer.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Make a motion to rehire Dale Marshall as zoning administrator and rehire Ted Hopkins as zoning enforcement officer at their current rate. Future pay details will be finalized after the land use committee wraps up.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
This is one we didn't talk about. Move to set trustee meetings in 2022 on the second and fourth Monday of each month at 7 p.m.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Move to appoint Jeff Kolb as representative for Morgan Township to the Butler County Board of Health for 2022.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Move to appoint Tom Brucker to represent Morgan Township to the County EMA Board for 2022.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Move to have Daryl Huff to be the representative for the drug screening for 2022.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Make a motion to rehire Judy Case to open and close the community center for any events at $10 to open and $10 to close.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Move to rehire Fire Chief Jeff Galloway as fire chief and township administrator at his current salary of $93,223 per year.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Abstain.
Motion approved.
Anything else?
No.
I'll make a motion, or I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes,
Motion approved.
we are adjourned.
At 9:50.